Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the first time ever, and I mean ever, Batman vs. Superman review. That's right, Dawn of Justice. I finally saw it. It took me so damn long, but I finally saw the movie, and it did not disappoint. I know there were stuff about like bad reviews, things like, oh, I didn't like this, I didn't like that. I say, screw those fucking people. Seriously, fuck you for not liking this movie. This was amazing. Just because, what, you didn't like it because this movie didn't hold your fucking hand and tell you every little fucking snippet? Huh? Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who are not DC fans and don't know that who Wonder Woman is, or who Lex is, or, the whole thing about Bruce Wayne, what's going on with him, even though they did, show, I guess, his origin story, which was really good until it got to a point where I guess he's like, the bats are taking him up. That was a little like, I get the symbolism, but yeah, it could have done without it. Uh, but yeah, definitely, yeah, I love this movie. I was just so excited. I've waited years for this movie. Like, seriously, and I'm not talking about like, oh, hey, it'd be cool to see, these two characters, interact. No, freaking since, the animated series, since World's Finest. Yeah, World's Finest. Definitely, just wow. And when I got to see them in that and seeing them now, it's freaking crazy. It's just another level, and you get to see how how Batman came to hate Superman and just the fear that he had of him, of what he could do because of the people he lost and thousands of other people that died on that day where Superman, and Zod fought each other. It was utterly incredible. The acting was superb. Seriously, it was on point. Everything was on point with this. Okay? Yes, of course, there were some scenes where I think I heard a lot, like, oh, the cuts weren't that great or certain transitions. But to me, it didn't really destroy the movie. It didn't make it bad. There was some stuff where I was like, oh, okay, I know what this is. This is a freaking dream sequence, of what the future may hold. Especially, and there will be spoilers in this, okay? Just so you know, okay? So, yeah, the fact that there's like this whole dream sequences and the Flash appears, which I don't think people kind of might not have known that was the Flash. Maybe some hardcore fans would have. I know, I did, and that was pretty crazy. At first, it was like armor, and I was like, "What the hell? What is that?" And I'm like, "Wait a minute, it's red." No way, is that the Flash? And then his helmet comes up, and then you see him. The actor, was portraying Barry Allen in this sense. I'm like, holy crap, that's him. He was like time traveling to warn Bruce, saying, "You were right. You were right." And that to me is something that's very crazy within itself because it's already established. Something's going down. And the fact that how he was dressed, I think the Flash, of the armor that he had, it kind of reminded me of, I guess, the DC game, DC Universe Online. It reminded me of that game where they show like the cutscenes or something. I'll probably put a clip of how like the Flash, like they all had like this armor sets. It was really interesting and really cool, like what they were able to do. So yeah, that was very awesome. The fact that they also included all these other characters, such as I believe Mercy. They freaking had her. I was like, what? I was like, no way, that's her. That's Mercy. I'm like, that's really cool. They included her in this, even though, like I said, spoilers, of course. The whole bomb explosion by Lex and the whole thing. In the Capitol. Now, I thought that originally the character, one of the characters in the government, she was actually going to be working with Lex. I thought she and Lex, were going to see eye to eye on this. But when that didn't happen, I was like, oh wow, this is kind of interesting because it changed the whole perspective of it. She just wants Superman to be held accountable for what he's done and what they're going to do. Lex, on the other hand, he wants people to hate Superman. He wants to get his hands on this like alien technology. He wants to do something. He wants to control it. Weaponize all of this. But huge problem, like she doesn't want that. She he threatens her, of course. And honestly, Jesse Eisenberg did an amazing job, hands down. I thought it was gonna be shit. I thought he was gonna be annoying as hell. Like seriously, like fine, this is what ruins the movie. Jesse Eisenberg is like, oh hi there, what's going on? And you're seriously, it's like, oh my god, he's just snap his neck already, just kill him, But no, complete opposite. That's not what happened. I ended up going to this, and then I saw him, and just when he was talking, I believe, to the senator, the Democratic senator, and it was just kind of one of those intense scenes of like, he's talking to her, he's telling her what's happening, what will happen, and what he's developing. They found out, what the kryptonite does, and he's just enthralled with the idea of taking down Superman, and just his mastermind about setting everything up to make sure that he gets what he wants, ultimately what he wants. And he does it in such a genius way. He finds there's more people out there similar to Superman in a way that they're metahumans. There's a lot of metahumans. He finds out, the Flash is out there. Finds out about Wonder Woman. Finds out about Aquaman, which is freaking crazy to see him there. And also about Cyborg. And then how Cyborg is formed. And just putting all of that together was just incredible and complete genius for Lex to do all of this. Because Batman, yes, world's greatest detective, just really incredible. However, he was blinded by the fact of like, shit, we have a threat here, There's a threat out there, and I freaking need, to take him down. Because no one else is going to do it. He didn't know there was, Wonder Woman, I guess, existed or that she was there. So, from the day that he saw Superman and Zod fighting and the destruction that they left, he decided to take it upon himself, and he did. He focused on training on, but he got crazier, he got more violent, and honestly, he kills people in this movie. He's killed people. Like honestly, it's like blatantly blasting people like in their cars or whatever, or their vehicles. They're shooting. He freaking drags somebody's car while they're in it, dragging it everywhere, just tumbling, just hitting everywhere. And you're like, holy shit, what the fuck? Then he launches it onto another car where they're shooting and crushes it. They're dead, okay? It's obvious they're freaking dead. Then there's other cars that are exploding, all this madness going on. And it's incredible what he's willing to do for this. Like, honestly, hands down, just an amazing movie. Wow. Like, I freaking loved it, The fact of, like, Superman has this whole dilemma, because it's true. Let's be honest. If Superman existed in this world, whatever, in the real world, there would be people who feared him, who feared his power, especially from the destruction that happened. Unlike Marvel, they actually, step it up and say, you know what? Dude, your fight destroyed, like, half the city, if not more, and killed thousands of people. We know that you were just trying to help. But that doesn't change anything. That doesn't change or bring back the people that lost their lives or lost their limbs, like the guy that lost his legs. And they have to question that. And I like that they went into that in depth and talking about it. Of like, he needs to show up and talk about that. Because, they need to keep his power in check. However, when you look at the Marvel, I guess, universe, they're not really in check until, I guess, just recently that I heard that, I guess, for the Captain America Civil War, that they're finally going to be talking about something like that. But that doesn't necessarily like do anything because of, there's been countless movies. There's been countless movies with these characters and the destruction that they, laid waste. But there's no, there hasn't been any consequence until now. Like seriously, dude. Like what the hell? Look at what happened in the first Avengers where New York was being destroyed, but not even being destroyed. I never saw buildings fall. I never saw, or heard that people were losing their lives. Even after that, it was just like, oh, there's destruction. Hell, one of those freaking things almost took out a building and it didn't collapse. But like seriously, you're not gonna talk about that? Of course, they're targeted for different audiences. But Batman vs Superman is something that's in its own league, pun intended. Uh, it does something that Marvel doesn't, and that's take to the seriousness of the actions of these superheroes. They pretty much like take these superheroes and put them in the in the reality, which is our world, and that there are consequences, and there are things that they need to watch out for. Yes, like all of these characters have played such an intricate role in this, and seriously, when I say Jesse Eisenberg's character, like Lex is, just his mental state seems to be kind of going. Something's happening with him, as the story progresses, and it's amazing the turn that it takes, since he wants Superman to pretty much. So the told that what's going on with Lex is that he wants Superman. He tells him, hey, you know what? I know who you are. I know your secret identity. I have your mother. Like if you don't do what I say, I'm gonna freaking kill her. I'm gonna have her burned. Okay, burned alive. If you don't go and kill Batman. But here's the thing. Of course, Lex knows that they're gonna fight against each other, and that Batman's ready because he knows that Batman took his kryptonite. Of course, he knows. Obviously, when he goes back to his place, he finds kryptonite's gone, and that's there. And it's like it's one of those things that he set up. He set it all up. He was able to do all of this, And of course, he's not this muscular guy. No, he uses his brain, which sets him on another level, because you don't expect it. You expect him to do certain things, but when this happens, it's just phenomenal. He just unleashes all this information, tells him you have to do this, or else she's dead. And of course, Superman's gonna go, but he wants to get help. He wants to get Batman's help, but Batman's state of mind is, I'm gonna fucking kill you, like honestly, it's like I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna take you down and I'm gonna kill you because you have way too much power. And especially when he finds out about the explosion, when he kills all those people, it's like he believes it was, Superman. When there's all these deaths occurring, believes it is Superman. So the fight between them is just incredibly, I guess hard hitting. I mean, it's pretty crazy, Batman's doing his best. He has those grenades that it's like toxin and also kryptonite, so it makes him weaker. And he just takes him down. Just like starts beating the crap out of him, And of course, I expected I don't know. I've seen Dark Knight Returns, so maybe I expected some crazy shit like that. But yeah, it was really good because Superman doesn't want to kill him, but it's like he wants to stop him. So I mean, the whole fight scene was really good. He literally throws the kitchen sink at Superman. He freaking smacks him with that, and honestly, almost kills him until it gets to that point where he just says Martha. And I know a lot of people, including my best friend, he was like, "Really, you're expecting me to believe that Batman just stops because he hears Martha?" Well, it's like, well, honestly, that's his mom's name, It's like, and it clicks, and I'm like, wait, that's his mom's name. You know, it's clicking with Bruce that he's like, wait, like, why the hell does he know, you know, or, you know, why does he know my mother's name? What the hell's going on? What the hell's happening? Why are you saying that? Why are you saying save her? You know, what's going on? You know, as he's about to freaking spear him with a freaking kryptonite tipped spear. And it's like, you know, he's been up, it's like, Lois is there, it's like, that's his mom's name. Like, what the hell? So then that's when, you know, of course, Superman has you know, pretty much, you know, help get his mom, and Superman kind of really can't do much, you know? So he's like, alright, I promise you that I will save her. And he does in the most amazing, freaking just stunning fighting choreography I have ever seen. This is freaking Batman. Okay? It makes Christian Bale look like a fucking pussy. Not even joking. Like, seriously. Like, the fighting choreography in those Batman movies were decent, but not that great. This one is like, you see Batman move around like crazy. You see him fight. You see him kick. You see him throw people. He throws down. You see him fucking stab people, snipe people, throw things. Use his grappling hook to stab some guys through here and pull him. You see that shit. You see someone face planting someone. You see him toss someone else into a room with a grenade, and the dude pulls up, killing him and another guy as well. You see all of this, and you see, you know, he breaks through the wall to get this other guy. He has, you know, the gun in his hand, and he's pointing at the guy, and he's like, if you try it, you know, if you don't put the gun down, I'm gonna kill her. Batman just, without blinking, looks at him and says, I know you're telling the truth. And he aims at the fucking gas tank for the flamethrower. Bam! Blasts it, punctures it. Flames start coming out of it. He goes to Martha, covers her in his armor. You know, it's his cape and his cowl. As it explodes and fire goes everywhere. It saves her, and then she just looks at him in shock. Because she thought it was going to be, you know, her son, Clark, you know, Superman. But it turns out it's Batman that saved her. And she's like, and he just tells her, I'm a friend of your son's. And she's like, yeah, I could tell from the cape. And it's like, oh, I lost my shit. That shit was awesome. Now, that's another thing. People like to argue like, oh, there was no sense of humor within this this movie. I beg to differ. There was sense of humor sprinkled here and there throughout of it. This isn't a fucking Marvel movie. This isn't an Avengers movie. If you expected that shit, get the fuck out of here. Seriously. You expected this to be exactly like a Marvel movie? This DC. Okay? Batman is DC Detective Comics. It is not Marvel. Okay, that's another thing. There are two separate entities that I believe people got confused. They expected to see a Marvel movie. I've heard some of the comments. They're like, oh, you know, well, it didn't have a lot of sense of humor like the Marvel movies. Well, fucking what they do. It's not supposed to. This is something different. You have to see it for what it is and enjoy it for that. I didn't expect to see a goddamn comedy when I was like, oh, Batman vs. Superman. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a funny movie. Batman's gonna say so many hilarious things. No, okay, that's not. What's wrong with you? That's not what this movie's about. Okay, it's not what it's about. Now, the whole, just everything that occurs, the battle, you know, between, you know, when they go in to try to take out Lex. But then it's actually Doomsday comes out, and he looks all weird. I was like, what the hell? What the hell's up with Doomsday? That's not Doomsday. Like, what the fuck? You know, I'm already to, like, hate on this. But then, like, yeah, you see, like, all these changes start happening. He starts shedding his skin. And then, like, he starts growing all these freaking, like, horns or these spikes coming out of him, protruding from him. And you realize, oh, he's, like, evolving. He's molting. He's changing. Even when Wonder Woman cuts off one of his limbs, his arm, like it starts growing back, but it's like spikes, comes out, and you see like so he's evolving. Now, one of the things in the comics that I've heard, is that yeah, you can like he'll die, but then like years later or however long he'll come back stronger, you know, and you can't kill him the same way. Now, I don't know if they're going for that or what it is, but the way Lex was using him was more as like a beacon because he kept pulsating, right? Like throwing these charges, like, and he was shutting down power. He was destroying like all these buildings and stuff. But at the same time, he was sending a signal, and he did send a signal up to someone. Now, the reason for that is that Lex created Doomsday through the Kryptonian technology. He created him through there, used Zod's fingerprints to get in there, and then pretty much, I guess you could say, hacked it and rewired it to obey his commands, so he can know everything about Kryptonian, just about Kryptonians, as well as other planets that with inhabited life, and it told him everything. It told him so much, which is the reason he's just so incredibly intelligent that he knows all of this stuff. He learned this, and he's sending a signal, and there's a scene where he talks to Batman, and he tells him there's an apocalypse coming, and I'm just like, holy shit. Now, okay, apocalypse. I'm not talking about. It's not meant talking about X-Men or anything like that. It's talking about. I'm pretty sure it's Darkseid's planet. I mean, Darkseid, lives on Apocalypse. He's just this unstoppable force, and it's like he's gonna come, and I believe so because when Cyborg was getting assembled, there's a part where it's like this new technology. It's going, it's like holy crap, what the hell? It's really crazy, and then that technology attaches to Cyborg and builds him. Which, if you don't get it, go watch Justice League War animated. It'll make sense to you if you watch it. Okay? If you want to get more in depth. But yeah, like, all this is crazy stuff. And the fact that, like, when they're fighting against Darkseid, it's like, I heard, like, oh, Batman was kind of, like, running away. I mean, not against Darkseid, sorry. When they're fighting against Doomsday, Batman was kind of, like, I guess, not hiding, but, like, running away, because, I mean, he's dodging. I mean, like, what the hell do you expect him to do? He can't really, I guess, do that much against him, I mean, it's freaking Doomsday, But, I mean, he holds his own. He does his best, to fight him, even though, he can't compete at that level, because it's freaking crazy. But he does his best. Like, when the nuke hits, when Superman takes Doomsday high up there, to outer space to kill him, to take him out, they said a nuclear strike, because it's just out of range, hits him, and what happens? It nearly kills Superman. Because that's one of the things, in Dark Knight Returns, nuclear strike, that hits Superman, or it's there, then drains all of his energy, and he turns into that kind of like hollowed out version of himself, like really thin and graying and dying. But then when the sun hits him, he regenerates. It brings him back, to life. But it takes a while. But yeah, Batman, doing his best, stop him. Anyways, Superman goes, to handle business, saves Lois again. It really shows you that whole mentality of like, if Lois dies, will he lose it? Because it's like his mom and Lois are like his only links to kind of like humanity at that point. But anyways, he gets the spear, goes, stabs Doomsday through his heart, and I will say this though. Wonder Woman showing up to help out Batman and Superman, freaking amazing. It was so freaking badass. She's just this dominant force that that takes on Doomsday and just like takes it to him. Like seriously, she's like kicking ass, taking names. It does an amazing job. Gal Gadot, freaking amazing, beautiful, stunning, and just freaking physically fit. And she takes it to him, you know, which is something that I haven't honestly seen. I know like Black Widow, you've seen Black Widow and stuff like that in Marvel, but nothing to this caliber. She's more than just just oh she's hot or whatever. Like she kicks freaking ass. And the fact that they give her that much time, like on screen, like fighting and all that, it really amped it all up. Needless to say, Superman spearing Doomsday. That was crazy. With the kryptonite, and then Doomsday, of course, killing Superman. Yeah, he dies, which is like it's original. It's like that's originally like from the comics. Doomsday killing Superman, which finishes him. And it's crazy because it's like, Superman and Clark die in the same day, whatever. But, yeah, that whole thing, it's just really, really, really intense. And you see that, Batman and Wonder Woman, or Bruce and Wonder Woman, or Diana, they're there and they're like, we need to get, all those people that, we saw we need to get them. We need to form this team. It's like we need them for when they come. And I'm thinking it could be Darkseid, but it could be other alien life forms. I mean, that could be a signal, kind of like, they're ready. The Earth is ready to fight, or intergalactic stuff, or whatever. It could bring the Green Lantern Corps. Because I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. Could bring Brainiac. You never know. But then the fact of, like, Superman isn't actually dead. Like, this happened before, even when Superman was killed by Doomsday. It was like he came back to life because it took him a while for his body to fully regenerate. It was kind of like, I guess, I don't want to say a coma, but kind of like hibernating, It was just kind of like hibernating for a while so you could heal. Because at the end, you kind of see the casket there and like the sand kind of lift up. So I think that's what's going on. And it's going to be really interesting, the path that DC takes. So, yeah, this is my take on the whole movie. But everything that's just happened, that's amazing. I can't wait to see Wonder Woman. I can't wait to see the new Batman or the new Man of Steel. I can't wait to see all of these DC movies in action. Like, Aquaman, see what's going to happen there. It's all going to be great. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe to this video. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The link is down below. Should have that there, along with my name, Ravenouslobo, as well as my Twitter, which is @Ravenouslobo Pro. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll definitely see you guys again